Ladies and gentlemen, all right, ladies, let me tell you something that's going to change the game for you. Have you ever wondered why sometimes, no matter how much you try, it feels like you're just not connecting with the man you're interested in? Or, on the flip side, why do some women seem to effortlessly keep their man hooked? Well, here's the secret. It's not about playing hard to get or trying to be someone you're not. It's all about the words you use. That's right. There are certain things you can say to a man that will have him hooked. And I'm about to tell you exactly what they are. Stick with me, because once you know these phrases, you're going to understand the power of words and how to use them to get the man of your dreams to not only listen, but to respond like you've never seen before. Ready? Let's dive into it. One of the most powerful things you can say to a man is a genuine compliment. And I'm not talking about the typical surface level compliments that just scratch the surface, like telling him he looks good in a shirt or making a comment about his physique. While those things can feel nice, they're not the compliments that truly resonate and leave a lasting impact. I'm talking about real, heartfelt compliments that speak to who he is as a person, the things that make him unique, the qualities that define him, and the contributions he makes in your life or the world around him. Men are often taught to be strong, independent, and self-sufficient. They carry a lot of pressure to always be on their A game, to perform well, and to succeed. In many cases, they can feel that they are under constant scrutiny to be perfect, and their worth is measured by their achievements or external success. So, when a woman acknowledges not just his external appearance, but the deeper intrinsic qualities that make him who he is, it hits differently. It makes him feel valued for the things that are harder to see, the qualities that go beyond looks or superficial traits. Compliments like, "I admire how hard you work," or "I love how thoughtful you are with people," have an emotional depth that will resonate much deeper than a simple, "You look handsome today." These compliments do more than just stroke his ego. They make him feel seen and understood in a way that most people, including those closest to him, might overlook. Think about it for a second. When's the last time someone complimented you on your dedication, your intelligence, or your ability to stay calm under pressure? Not often, right? But these are the things that men value and take pride in. And when you highlight these traits, you're not just telling him he's doing something right. You're affirming the very core of who he is. You're telling him that you appreciate not just the what he does, but the who he is. And that's a game changer. There's a reason why people remember compliments that come from the heart. When you give a man a genuine compliment, you're reinforcing his self-worth in a way that feels both authentic and powerful. And here's the percent. And here's the best part. It doesn't just make him feel good in the moment. It strengthens the emotional connection between you both. By acknowledging his strengths and characteristics, you're not just admiring him from a distance. You're showing him that you truly pay attention to who he is and what makes him unique. That creates a bond based on respect and admiration, which is the foundation of any strong relationship. Now, here's something that's important to understand. A genuine compliment isn't always about agreeing with everything he does or showering him with praise all the time. It's about recognizing his efforts, his growth, and his values, even when they may not be immediately obvious to everyone else. For example, if he's been working long hours on a project or trying to improve himself in some way, acknowledging his hard work or the progress he's made can be far more impactful than a generic, "You're doing great." Compliment his perseverance, his commitment, his passion for the things that matter to him. This shows you appreciate his dedication, and it creates a deeper sense of respect and attraction. Men are drawn to women who understand their struggles and victories, and who can recognize the quiet, everyday efforts they make. And don't forget, timing matters. When you give a compliment at just the right moment, it carries even more weight. For example, when he's going through a tough time, struggling with something personal or professional, reminding him of his strengths and the qualities that make him special can be a powerful boost. It's like an emotional lifeline, something that pulls him up when he might be feeling down. Complimenting him on his character, when he's feeling vulnerable, lets him know that you're not just there for the good times, but you're willing to acknowledge his deeper qualities, even when they might be hidden beneath stress or uncertainty. In relationships, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day routines or the practicalities of life, work, responsibilities, errands, and the like. But when you stop to notice the things that truly matter, like his dedication, his kindness, or his loyalty, and you take the time to compliment him for it, you're showing him that he's worth more than just a passing thought. It's a way of saying, I see you, I appreciate you, and I'm grateful for everything you do. Men need to hear these things. They want to know that their efforts are noticed and that they are valued for who they are, not just for what they provide or how they perform. When you give a man a compliment that speaks to his character, his strength, and his uniqueness, you are helping to build a deeper connection. You're not just offering empty words, you're speaking to the heart of what he truly needs to hear, which is what will make him feel the most loved, respected, and connected to you. So remember, the next time you want to make a lasting impression or deepen your bond with a man, offer him a genuine compliment. Acknowledge the qualities that make him truly special. It's these kinds of compliments that no man will be able to resist because they are built on sincerity, respect, and admiration. And those are the things that truly matter in any relationship. When you speak to a man's inner hero, you're tapping into one of the most powerful parts of his nature. Men are wired to protect, to provide, and to rise to challenges. It's in their DNA to feel a sense of purpose, and nothing makes them feel more alive than when they are able to step up and fulfill that purpose. And here's the thing, ladies, you have the power to encourage that side of him by recognizing and speaking to that arrow within. The right words from you can make him feel like he's ready to conquer the world. The key here is to express your belief in his strength, wisdom, and ability to navigate the world. If you want to make a lasting impression, tell him that you believe in him. Tell him that you trust his judgment and that you know he's capable of handling whatever challenges come his way. It doesn't matter if he's facing something personal, professional, or just a tough day. It's the words of encouragement that will elevate his confidence and ignite his inner drive. Men want to feel that they are good at what they do and that their efforts matter. And when you speak to his sense of purpose, you show him that you see him for more than just the role he plays in your life. You see him as someone capable of greatness. Saying things like, I trust you to handle this, or I know you've got this, I believe in you, is powerful because it speaks directly to the way a man wants to feel about himself. When you tell him that you believe in his abilities, you're doing more than offering a compliment. You're affirming that he has the strength to succeed. This is a confidence booster like no other. It taps into a man's need to prove himself, to show that he can rise to the occasion. And when he knows you believe in him, he's more likely to push himself even harder to meet the challenges ahead. Now, here's the beauty of it all. Men thrive when they feel needed and valued for their contributions, but they also want to know that their partner sees them as strong, capable individuals. When you speak to his hero side, you let him know that you not only love him for who he is, but that you value the strength, the ambition, and the heart he brings to everything he does. This builds a deeper connection between the two of you because it's a connection based on mutual respect and admiration. But it's not just about telling him what he wants to hear. It's about being sincere. Men can sense when you're being authentic, and they can also tell when you're offering empty words just to flatter them. If you want to speak to his inner hero, you have to be genuine. You have to recognize the challenges he's facing and speak to how you know he can rise above them. Acknowledging the effort he's putting into something and showing that you believe in him can go a long way in building that emotional bond. This type of support shows him that you're not just there for the easy moments, but that you're willing to stand by him in his journey, no matter what challenges lie ahead. Another thing to keep in mind is that men, like everyone else, go through moments of self-doubt. They might question their abilities, their worth, or their progress, especially when things aren't going the way they planned. This is when you can step in and remind him of his inner strength. When he's feeling unsure of himself, your words of encouragement can help him refocus and find the strength to keep going. It's about being his support system, reminding him of the confidence you have in him when he can't find it in himself. This creates an emotional safety net where he knows he can lean on you, and it fosters an environment of trust and loyalty. The power of speaking to his inner hero is not just in the words you say, but in how you make him feel. When you tell him you trust his abilities, when you recognize the hard work he's putting into his goals, when you encourage him to keep going, even when things seem tough, he will feel a deep sense of gratitude and emotional connection. You are becoming someone who sees him for more than just the surface level things. You're acknowledging the depth of his character and the effort he's putting into his life and his relationship with you. This kind of emotional support doesn't just make a man feel good, it empowers him to be the best version of himself. It encourages him to keep striving, keep improving, and keep fighting for what he believes in. And as he grows and rises to the challenges you've helped him face, the bond between you both becomes even stronger. In the end, speaking to his inner hero is one of the most effective ways to make a man feel loved, respected, and understood. When you show him that you see his strength, his potential, and his capacity to succeed, you're inspiring him to live up to those expectations. You're telling him that he is capable of greatness, not just for you, but for himself. And no man can resist a woman who believes in him, especially when it comes from a place of authenticity, respect, and genuine love. Another phrase that has a profound impact on a man is one that affirms his value and importance in your life. Men, just like women, need to feel needed and appreciated. It's one thing to hear that you're loved or cared for, but it's something entirely different to hear someone say, "I need you." These words hit home because they speak to a man's innate desire to be important, to have a purpose, and to know that his presence in someone's life is meaningful. When you tell a man that you need him, you're acknowledging his role in your life, and more importantly, you're letting him know that he matters. This might sound simple, but the power of those three words is enormous. When you tell a man, "I need you," you're validating his sense of worth and reminding him that he plays a significant role in your life. In relationships, this isn't about dependency, it's about showing that you value his support, his perspective, and his contributions. Men especially thrive when they feel that their efforts are needed. Whether it's emotional support, physical help, or simply being there for you, they want to know that what they do matters, that their actions and their presence make a difference. Men are often expected to be the providers, the protectors, and the ones who always have everything together. While many embrace this role with pride, it can also become overwhelming. And sometimes, in a world that tells them to always be strong and never show vulnerability, hearing that they are needed can be a relief. It's a reminder that they don't have to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders alone, that it's okay to rely on someone else, and that their support is not just appreciated but truly required. When you tell a man that you need him, it's not just about needing him in the sense of requiring help with a task, but also needing him emotionally. Men can sometimes be hesitant to express their own vulnerability or to admit when they're struggling. But when you tell him that you need him, you're opening a door for him to be emotionally present in a way that feels safe. It allows him to feel that he's important not just when he's being strong or capable, but also when he's simply being there for you in times of need. This doesn't mean you have to be needy or overly dependent, but expressing your need for him in a healthy and respectful way creates a sense of trust and intimacy. It shows that you see him as someone who is integral to your life, and this can be incredibly affirming for a man. It boosts his confidence and reinforces his belief that he is a key player in the relationship, not just a passive participant. The desire to be needed is deeply embedded in a man's sense of identity. It gives him a reason to invest emotionally, to give his best, and to ensure that the relationship thrives. When a woman tells a man she needs him, it triggers his protective instincts. He feels like the hero in his own story, and this is something that appeals to a man's natural sense of pride and purpose. It encourages him to be more attentive, more engaged, and more willing to offer his time and energy. Men are wired to want to take care of the people they love, and when you let him know you need him, it reinforces this desire in a healthy, balanced way. But here's the trick. It's about timing and context. You don't need to overdo it or say these words at every turn. You want to ensure that when you say, "I need you," it's genuine and comes from a place of real emotion. Whether it's needing him for support during a tough time or needing his help on a practical matter, the power of these words is amplified when they are said with sincerity. The last thing you want is to make him feel like you're only saying this because you're trying to manipulate or control the situation. If you say these words authentically, it can transform the dynamic in the relationship, creating a deeper bond between the two of you. It's also essential to understand that needing him doesn't mean being incapable of handling things on your own. Instead, it's about recognizing that you value his presence and his support. It's a reminder to him that he's not just a nice to have, but an essential part of your life. You're telling him that his value is beyond what he provides. It's also in who he is as a person, in how he makes you feel, in how he uplifts your life. When a man hears, "I need you," it's like he's being told that he is integral to the success and happiness of the relationship. It gives him a sense of purpose, reinforcing his role as a partner, confident and protector. And for a man who might be struggling with his own sense of identity or self-worth, hearing these words can be incredibly powerful. It reassures him that he's doing the right thing, that he's on the right track, and that his presence is something you cherish. So remember, ladies, if you want to deepen the connection in your relationship, don't underestimate the power of telling a man that you need him. These words aren't a sign of weakness. They're a testament to the strength of your bond, to the respect and appreciation you have for him, and to the emotional safety you've created together. When you express that you need him, you're not only showing your affection, but you're giving him the space to rise to the occasion, to be the man who is there for you when you need him most. And let me tell you, no man can resist that. There's one powerful phrase that men can't resist, and that's the simple act of showing appreciation. Men want to know that the efforts they put into a relationship or into a task don't go unnoticed. They want to hear that they're being recognized for their hard work, whether it's in their careers, their relationships, or their personal lives. This kind of appreciation doesn't just make them feel good in the moment. It boosts their confidence and strengthens their bond with you. When you show a man that you appreciate him, whether it's for his efforts, his personality, or the things he does for you, it speaks volumes. It tells him that he's valuable to you, that he's making a difference, and that his actions matter. Men don't often get the same level of validation that women do. Society tends to celebrate the achievements of men, but seldom stops to appreciate the little things they do. From fixing something around the house to being there when you need them, to simply showing up with a smile, men can often feel like their contributions are taken for granted. That's why, when you take the time to show appreciation, it makes all the difference. It's not about the grand gestures or the expensive gifts. It's the small, consistent acknowledgments that let him know he's doing well and that you notice the effort he's putting in. When you tell a man, "I really appreciate how hard you work for us," or "I'm so grateful for the little things you do for me every day," it doesn't just flatter him, it fuels him. It encourages him to keep going, to keep striving to be the best version of himself, because he knows you see the value in what he brings to the table. No one wants to feel like they're invisible or that their hard work is being overlooked. And by acknowledging what he does, you're reinforcing his sense of self-worth and his desire to keep giving his best. This kind of appreciation isn't limited to the big things either. Men want to feel appreciated for their attention to detail, for the moments when they show up for you without being asked, and for the ways they support you emotionally. These moments might seem small, but they are incredibly important. Whether he remembers to take care of something you mentioned, or he simply listens to you when you're having a bad day, those actions deserve recognition. Taking the time to tell him that you notice and value these things shows him that he's not just a provider or protector, but a partner who is deeply seen and appreciated. One of the most powerful things about showing appreciation is that it also creates a deeper emotional connection. Men, like women, want to feel that their partner sees them for who they truly are, beyond just their roles. When you appreciate a man for who he is as a person, the way he carries himself, the values he holds, or the way he makes you feel, it strengthens the bond between you. It lets him know that you love him not just for what he does, but for who he is at the core. This type of appreciation nurtures the relationship, allowing both partners to feel valued and loved. Moreover, when a man feels appreciated, it reduces feelings of insecurity or fear that he might not be enough. Everyone has their moments of self-doubt, but when you acknowledge the things he does, it reassures him that he's doing just fine. He doesn't have to be perfect. He doesn't have to solve every problem, and he doesn't have to be Superman all the time. He just needs to know that his efforts are recognized, and that, in your eyes, he's doing an incredible job. It's also important to recognize that appreciation doesn't always have to be verbal. Sometimes a simple act of kindness or a gesture of gratitude can speak louder than words. Whether it's cooking his favorite meal, writing him a heartfelt note, or just doing something special to show that you care, these acts of appreciation create a sense of reciprocity in the relationship. It's not about keeping score, but about acknowledging each other's contributions and efforts, big or small. This, in turn, creates a dynamic where both partners are constantly lifting each other up. When you appreciate a man for the things he does, he's more likely to reciprocate that appreciation, creating a positive feedback loop. This cycle of appreciation and recognition makes both individuals feel valued, which ultimately deepens the emotional connection and strengthens the relationship. The power of appreciation in a relationship can't be overstated. It's easy to take the person you're with for granted, especially when you're caught up in the day-to-day routines. But taking a moment to genuinely appreciate what he does, how he makes you feel, And who he is as a person makes all the difference. It's a reminder that you see him for all the little things that make him special. And for a man, knowing that the person he loves notices and values him is one of the most rewarding feelings in the world. So, if you want to truly connect with a man on a deeper level, remember this: appreciation is not just a nice thing to do, it's essential. It gives him the confidence to keep pushing forward. It reassures him that he's valuable, and it strengthens the bond you share. When you take the time to show appreciation, you're investing in the relationship in a way that makes both of you feel seen, heard, and loved. That's a gift that no man can resist. Another phrase that many men can't resist is hearing someone express their admiration for their intelligence. Men love to feel respected, and one of the easiest ways to show respect for a man is by recognizing his mind, his ideas, and the way he thinks. Men want to feel like their thoughts and opinions matter, that they're valued not just for what they do, but for who they are on a deeper intellectual level. Complimenting a man's intelligence is one of the most effective ways to make him feel important and appreciated. It shows that you value more than just his external qualities or his physical presence. You see him for his mind, for his creativity, and for the way he navigates the world. It's important to note that this isn't about flattery or empty compliments. Men can see right through that. It's about genuinely acknowledging the way he thinks, the unique perspective he brings to the table, or the insights he provides in conversations. This kind of recognition does more than just boost his ego, it strengthens his self-confidence. It lets him know that his intellect is not just appreciated, but essential in the relationship. When you tell a man that you admire the way he thinks or the way he handles complex situations, you're affirming that he has qualities that make him stand out, not just to you, but in the world. A man's intellect is tied to his identity. The mind is often one of the things that a man values most about himself, and recognizing it can deepen the connection between the two of you. It shows that you not only admire his physical or material qualities, but also the essence of who he is. It makes him feel validated, which is incredibly important for men. Many times, men are not given the space to express their thoughts in a deep and meaningful way. By acknowledging and praising his intellect, you open a door for him to share his ideas, his dreams, and his ambitions with you. This creates an environment where he feels safe to open up, and this is where true intimacy grows. Men are often taught to focus on their actions rather than their feelings, and many are conditioned to believe that their worth is tied to their achievements or their ability to get things done. But when you show that you value his intellect, it provides an alternative source of validation. It tells him that who he is, beyond what he does, is enough. This kind of respect helps nurture a deeper emotional connection between the two of you. It lets him know that you appreciate him not just as a partner or a provider, but as a person with valuable thoughts and ideas to contribute. Another aspect of acknowledging a man's intelligence is allowing him to express his opinions without immediately shooting them down. Many men, particularly in romantic relationships, find themselves in situations where they're not always heard or respected when they share their thoughts. The simple act of listening to his ideas, asking him for his opinion, or considering his perspective shows respect for his intellect. It makes him feel that his thoughts are valuable, that he's being heard, and that his insights are worth considering. This goes a long way in making a man feel connected to you and secure in the relationship. If he feels that you trust his judgment and respect his opinions, he'll be more likely to trust you and value your input in return. When you express admiration for a man's intelligence, it's also about encouraging him to grow. Intellectual appreciation is a great way to support a man in his journey of self-improvement. It can inspire him to keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing himself to become the best version of himself. When he sees that you value his intellect, he may feel motivated to sharpen his skills, pursue his passions, or engage in conversations that challenge him to think more deeply. By encouraging intellectual growth in a man, you're not only helping him become better, but also enriching your relationship. The more you engage with each other on a deeper intellectual level, the stronger your connection becomes. This doesn't mean that every conversation has to be about something profound or serious. Sometimes showing admiration for his intelligence can come from appreciating his problem-solving abilities in everyday situations. Whether it's the way he handles a tough situation at work, the way he approaches a personal project, or the way he finds solutions to everyday challenges, acknowledging his ability to think critically and solve problems is a powerful form of appreciation. It shows that you see more than just the surface. You see the depth and complexity of who he is. In addition, this intellectual admiration can help create a partnership of equals. Men want to feel that they are in a relationship where both individuals contribute, not just physically or emotionally, but intellectually as well. When you express respect for his mind, it encourages a balanced dynamic in the relationship. You create an environment where both of you can share ideas, challenge each other's thoughts, and grow together. This mutual intellectual respect becomes the foundation for a strong, supportive, and enriching relationship. So, if you want to captivate a man and make him feel truly valued, don't underestimate the power of recognizing his intellect. It's a powerful way to let him know that you appreciate who he is at his core, not just for the things he does for you, but for the way he thinks and the ideas he brings to your life. When you show that you value his intellect, you're doing more than complimenting him, you're strengthening the emotional and intellectual connection between you. And that is a foundation no man can resist. One of the most irresistible things you can say to a man is expressing admiration for his strength, both emotional and physical. It's not just about recognizing how strong he is in the traditional sense, like lifting heavy objects or handling physical tasks. It's about appreciating the emotional fortitude he shows, especially when life throws curveballs at him. Men often feel a deep need to protect their loved ones, and acknowledging this can have a profound impact. When you express admiration for his strength, you're recognizing the sacrifices he makes, the challenges he overcomes, and the resilience he demonstrates even when no one is watching. Strength is something that many men feel pressure to embody. Society often places expectations on men to be tough, resilient, and unflinching in the face of adversity. But beneath that exterior, many men struggle with vulnerability, and they long for someone who sees beyond the tough exterior. When you acknowledge the emotional and physical strength a man exhibits, you're showing that you understand and respect the complexities of who he is. This kind of recognition makes him feel validated, knowing that he doesn't have to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders alone, and that there's someone who sees his effort and values his resilience. The admiration for strength goes beyond physical appearance or acts of muscle. It's about noticing the emotional weight a man might carry. Men often feel the need to remain strong and composed, especially in situations where vulnerability could be seen as a weakness. By expressing admiration for his emotional strength, you're giving him permission to feel human. It encourages him to open up, share his struggles, and lean on you for support. This type of recognition builds trust and strengthens the bond between the two of you. It allows him to feel like he doesn't have to protect you from his emotions and that he can be open and vulnerable with you without fear of judgment. Moreover, admiration for a man's strength fosters a sense of mutual respect. Men want to feel respected in their relationships, and recognizing their strength, whether emotional or physical, tells him that you see him as a capable and reliable partner. It shows him that you value not only his actions, but the very essence of his character. This type of respect deepens the emotional connection and builds a stronger foundation for the relationship. When a man feels respected, he is more likely to reciprocate that respect, contributing to a balanced and healthy partnership. There's a deep sense of pride that comes with being recognized for strength. Men often view themselves as protectors and providers, and acknowledging their strength reinforces that role. It tells him that you recognize the sacrifices he's made for you and the efforts he's put into ensuring the well-being of the relationship. When you admire his strength, you validate his purpose in the relationship, reminding him that his role is valuable. This can boost his confidence and inspire him to continue showing up as his best self. The admiration for strength also speaks to the deep emotional connection that can be created when you truly see a man for who he is, both in his moments of strength and vulnerability. Often, men fear that if they show weakness or vulnerability, they might lose respect or love from those they care about. When you acknowledge both their strength and vulnerability, it opens the door for deeper intimacy. You show him that you love him for all of who he is. The strong and the sensitive, the resilient and the vulnerable. This level of emotional security is incredibly attractive to men, as it allows them to feel accepted without having to hide parts of themselves. One powerful way to show admiration for a man's strength is through the words you choose. It's not just about complimenting his physical strength or calling him strong, but about expressing how much you value the way he handles life's challenges. For example, saying something like, "I really admire how you handle tough situations. You never back down, and you always manage to stay calm and focused," is much more meaningful than just saying, "You're so strong." It's specific. It shows that you're paying attention, and it recognizes the strength in ways that go beyond the physical. These types of affirmations make a man feel seen for the depth of his strength, not just the obvious aspects. Furthermore, showing admiration for his strength can foster a sense of teamwork. Relationships are built on partnership, and when you acknowledge a man's strength, it invites him to lean on you when he needs it. It allows both partners to support each other, knowing that it's okay to rely on one another through the tough times. It's not about taking on everything alone, but about being strong together. This teamwork mentality strengthens the relationship as both partners feel like they are lifting each other up, regardless of what life throws their way. When a man feels admired for his strength, he feels a sense of pride in himself and in the relationship. It reaffirms his worth as a partner, and it lets him know that the relationship isn't one-sided. There's a mutual exchange of support, respect, and admiration. By recognizing his strength, whether physical, emotional, or mental, you empower him to continue being the best partner he can be. It fosters a deep connection that is rooted in trust and respect, and it reinforces the idea that both partners are committed to supporting each other through thick and thin. Ultimately, expressing admiration for a man's strength is one of the most powerful ways to make him feel loved, respected, and appreciated. It goes beyond the surface level and connects you to him in a profound way. It reassures him that you see him for all that he is, and it inspires him to continue being strong in the relationship, knowing that his strength is truly valued. This acknowledgement of his strength is something that no man can resist, as it creates a sense of fulfillment, pride, and security that can only be found in a truly supportive partnership.